Welcome back to the Ringer NBA Draft Special on FanDuel TV. Let's go through the top 10 picks in 7 minutes, starting with number 1, the Atlanta Hawks. I have them taking Zachary Reed-Sheppard, a 6'8" forward out of France. He's a guy that's going to be able to fit in with Trae Young or without Trae Young, because Reed-Sheppard is kind of that 3-and-D style forward who can play with Trae, space the floor. He shot 47% for 3 earlier this season before his percentage fell off. Streakiness is the concern for him, but if you're the Hawks, you're betting on upside next to Trae Young because he can defend, he can make the right play on offense. So I think he makes sense. There's kind of that piece depending on the lane that they go. However, one thing to know is that I'm hearing with the Hawks is that they're having trouble getting players to fly to Atlanta for workouts. That's as of now, late May, early June. We'll see if that improves in the weeks to come, and I'm sure it will, but that'll give clarity to their decision once they actually get guys in. At number 2, I have the Wizards taking Alex Sarr, 7-foot center, 7'4" wingspan, 19 years old. The Wizards, they need absolutely everything on their team. The one thing that they definitely need, though, is defense. They haven't had a defensive rating higher than 18th in 7 seasons. So Sarr can help the most there with his versatility. He's a switching big, a bit on the leaner side, so he's not going to defend those big, beefy centers like a Jokic or Embiid, but he can switch onto the perimeter, Nick Claxton style, if you're familiar with him with the Brooklyn Nets, can blitz, hedge, and pick and rolls. Offensively for the Wizards, he's more of an interior guy right now, a good at-rim finisher. He has some touch from mid-range on pull-ups, needs to extend his range to three-pointer for him to really tap into his full potential. But Sarr, for the most part, could end up becoming the highest upside player in the draft if he improves that three-pointer. We'll look at Sarr a little bit more in depth coming up on this episode. The Rockets at number 3. I have them taking Donovan Clingan, a 2-time champion from UConn, 7'2" center, 280 pounds. He has a Gobert-esque body with a 7'7" wingspan. Classic rim protector. He's really good on defense. Offensively, he sets hard screens, a great finisher at the basket. He's flashed an improved three-point jumper throughout the pre-draft process. That's important, because if the Rockets take him at number 3, you'll be pairing him in the front court with Alperen Şengün, and also another guy with an iffy three-point shooter. One of those two guys is going to have to improve from 3 for this to work, but that's why the Rockets, according to my sources, are listening to trade offers for that number 3 pick. They're talking to the Nets. They're talking to the Grizzlies. They could end up moving down to number 9 if it's Memphis, or out if it's Brooklyn, and then get back Mikal Bridges. So we'll see what the Rockets end up doing, but if they keep the number 3 pick, I have them taking Donovan Clingan. At number 4, with the San Antonio Spurs, who are you going to pair with Victor Wembanyama? That's the whole question here. I've heard they're looking for size in this year's draft class. So with that in mind, I have them taking Matas Buzelis, a forward out of the G League. Buzelis is 6'9". He brings theoretical shooting ability. He shot the hell out of it as a senior in high school. Not quite as well his first year with the G League, but he can handle the ball. He can pull up from mid-range. He's very versatile on defense. The Spurs have the 4th pick and the 8th pick. I'd expect them to go with 2 big players there. If they don't, maybe go with Reed Sheppard at this choice. But I think they go with 2 bigger guys, and that leaves Reed Sheppard for the Pistons with the 5th pick. They badly need shooting. They were 27th in attempts this season, 26th in three-point percentage. They're the only team in the bottom 5 in both. So why not select the draft's best shooter? Reed Sheppard would be a great partner with Cade Cunningham. He's a low-maintenance guy who doesn't need to touch the ball. He can shoot off the catch. He can attack closeouts, run secondary pick and roll. And even though he's smaller, he'd be surrounded by size. And that's where I'd really like what Reed Sheppard could do with the Pistons moving forward. And by the way, if he doesn't go 5, though, he could fall. The Hornets at 6 have LaMelo. The Blazers at 7 have Scoot Henderson. The Spurs at 8, they want size. The Grizzlies at 9 have Ja. At 10, the Jazz have Keontae George. So Reed Sheppard, if he doesn't go 3, 4, or 5, he could fall pretty far on draft night. At number 6, I have the Hornets taking Stephon Castle out of UConn. He wants to be a point guard, but he's also kind of more of that Andre Iguodala style wing. So I think it could work with him playing with LaMelo Ball. Imagine the size for them. 6'7" LaMelo, 6'6" Castle playing off of each other. Those two would be great. They'd have size across positions with Brendan Miller at forward, Mark Williams at center, Miles Bridges on the wing. I would lead loving what the Hornets are building out if they take Castle. At number 7, let's go with Tidjane Salaün to the Portland Trailblazers. 6'9", raw French forward, plays hard as hell. I think Salaün could be the steal of this year's draft. And at number 7, even though he's not going to be ready to play right away, the Blazers can afford to be patient. So I think with Salaün, this is a good spot for him. At number 8, I have the Spurs taking Nikola Topic. Really big point guard, 6'6", downhill attacker, very aggressive. He's a good shooter from mid-range. He has a good shot from the free throw line, needs to improve from 3. What better team to do that than the Spurs, who have already helped Wemby get better? Willing playmaker, he could be a great two-man option with him in the years to come. I would love that fit for the Spurs at 8, especially at number 4 after they got Buzelis. At number 9, I have the Grizzlies taking Kel'el Ware, a center out of Indiana. What are we seeing right now in these entire playoffs? We're seeing a rookie in Derek Lively be a perfect fit with Luka and Kyrie. Well, Ware could be the same thing for Ja Morant. He's a lob threat. He can protect the rim on defense. And the one thing that's different with Ware is he shot over 40% from 3 this past season for Indiana. So the Grizzlies could play 5 out with Jaren Jackson and Kel'el Ware. Could work out great for them there if they don't move up to 3 and get Donovan Clingan. And then at number 10, I have the Jazz taking Cody Williams, very raw freshman forward out of Colorado, but he'd be a great backcourt fit with Keontae George. He'd fit with Lauri Markkanen in the front court and Walker Kessler protecting the rim. They'd have a nice infrastructure there to build out in the years to come. And with all the talent they already have, there wouldn't be a lot of pressure on him to get better right away. That's our top 10 for the rest of the first round and the full second round. Head over to the Ringer for my full mock draft.